Good morning, everyone. I'm Kyra Boyd, and Public Information Officer for the Winston-Salem Police Department, and I want to welcome you all to the April 2023 Public Safety News Conference. On behalf of Chief William Penn Jr. and the entire staff of the Winston-Salem Police Department, I want to welcome you to the Police Department segment of the Public Safety News Conference. Please join me in honoring our fallen officers since our last Public Safety News Conference who paid the ultimate sacrifice. Sergeant Howard J. Pluff, end of watch, February 23, 2007. Sergeant Pluff was fatally shot outside a nightclub after he responded to a call for help from sheriff's deputies at approximately 2 a.m. 4 deputies were working off-duty at a local nightclub when a fight broke out during a private party. The fighting moved outside the club and several shots were fired, one of which struck Sergeant Pluff. He was transported to Wake Forest University Baptist Medical Center, where he succumbed to his wound approximately 21 hours later. The killer was apprehended at a later date and charged with first-degree murder. Police Officer Stephen Levi Amos II, end of watch, Tuesday, February 28, 1995. Officer Amos was shot and killed while he and another officer were responding to a call of shots fired. Officer Amos and his partner, Senior Police Officer John Pratt, were traveling to a training session when they heard a call of shots fired in a nearby apartment complex. Officer Amos drove their patrol car onto the street when they encountered sniper fire. He positioned the patrol car to block traffic and got out to take cover. As Officer Amos exited the patrol car, the sniper fired and the round went through the car and struck him. Other officers were able to move Officer Amos out of the line of fire and transport him to a local hospital where he died from his wounds the next day. The suspect was sentenced to death and was scheduled to be executed on February 27, 2004, until a U.S. District Court judge issued an indefinite stay of execution. The suspect died in prison on December 5, 2008. Let us pause to honor the lives of our fallen officers. Thank you. Before we move on, I would like to thank the men and women of the Winston-Salem Police Department for risking their lives every single day and for all of the impactful work that they do on a daily basis. Thank you all. Now, moving on to upcoming events, I would like to inform everyone of a few upcoming events in which the police department will be participating in. April 23rd through 29th is National Crime Victims' Rights Week, and we will hear more about that in a few minutes. May 5th, we will be hosting Coffee with a Cop at Buy Good Coffee, located on Brookstown Avenue, and that event begins at 9 a.m. On May 9th, the Winston-Salem Forsyth County Peace Officer Memorial Service will be held. The service will be at Morris Chapel United Methodist Church and will start at 11 a.m. May 19th, we will have a fallen officer ceremony in honor of Officer Michael M. Vickers at 8 a.m. at the Public Safety Center. We hope that you will join us for some of these events. Next, I would like to invite Lieutenant Mike Allen to speak about National Crime Victims Week.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mike Allen, and I'm a lieutenant with the Winston-Salem Police Department assigned to the Criminal Investigations Division. One of the units I supervise is the Victims Assistance Unit. And coming up this April, from the 23rd to the 29th, is National Crime Victims' Rights Week. During that upcoming week, we would like to pay tribute to the victims of crime and the dedicated professionals and volunteers who advocate on their behalf. This year's campaign is Survivor Voices. Elevate, engage, and affect change. On April 26th, Family Services will be hosting a community forum at the Forsyth County Central Library located at 660 West 5th Street. This event will start at 6 p.m. in the auditorium. Partner agencies that will also be in attendance to discuss services available and provide valuable information will be the Winston-Salem Police Department, the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office, the Forsyth County District Attorney's Office, Family Services, Bridges to Hope Family Justice Center of Forsyth County, as well as some guest speakers. I would like to encourage anyone that is interested in listening to a few Survivor Voices topics and stories, as well as the opportunity to ask questions and get some information and feedback from our local partner agencies to attend this event. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ben Jones. I'm a lieutenant assigned to the Criminal Intelligence Bureau. The head of the Criminal Intelligence Bureau is Assistant Chief Gomez. The Bureau Captain is Captain Jenkins. The CIB is comprised of 5 different units. The Special Investigations Division, which is part of the Forsyth County Drug Task Force and is overseen by Lieutenant Maid. The Gang Unit and the Gun Crime Reduction Unit are both overseen by Lieutenant Azar. The Violent Firearms Investigation Team and the Real-Time Crime Center are overseen by me. This bureau was formed last year to focus on drug traffickers, shooters, and guns. Although these units are independent of each other, they often work together in a collaborative effort to share intelligence, work operations, to put shooters and drug traffickers in jail. Slide 1. If you look at slide 1, you'll see seizures and arrests made by different units from January 1st, 2023 through March 30th of this year. You can see each individual unit has their own seizures, it has their firearms, drugs, cash, and felony arrest. So a total of 420 arrests between the felonies and the misdemeanors, and that's just since January. As you can see under the Special Investigation Division, they have 13,661,100 in drugs seized. Next slide. Slide 2 breaks down the numbers a little more. If you look at the total guns seized just by this bureau, you'll see 91, that's just since January. During that time, there's been 51 incidents where at least one person has been hit by a projectile from a firearm, and of those 51 incidents. G-Crew, which is a gun crime reduction unit, has worked on 14 cases, and VFIT, which has worked on 7 of those cases. VFIT would have inherited the cases to do investigations on. If you look to the right, you can see the different types of drugs that were seized and the amounts. So you can see there's a lot of work being done out there. And finally, I'd like to mention the Real-Time Crime Center and the team in the Real-Time Crime Center. They have worked on a lot of these cases, providing intelligence and real-time crime information that have helped make these arrests and these seizures. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Justin Anderson. I'm a motorcycle officer assigned to the Traffic Enforcement Unit. What we're going to talk about today is part of the Slow Your Ride Where We Reside campaign. It's an initiative to help encourage drivers to slow down and make residential streets of Winston-Salem safe. The City of Winston-Salem traffic fatalities, as you can see behind me, in 2020 we had 23 fatalities, 2021 28, 2022 20, and at the time that this was created, we had 4. We are up to 5 at this point. Probability that a person walking on the street impacted by a vehicle will be killed is shown behind me. At 20 miles per hour, you need 110 feet of stopping distance, showing that 1 out of 10 pedestrians hit by a vehicle at 20 miles per hour, the likeliness of them dying in that crash is 10%. At 30 miles per hour, you need 200 feet of stopping distance, which shows that the likelihood of a traffic fatality with a pedestrian in a vehicle increases by 40%, making that around at 50%. And then at 40 miles per hour, you need 375 feet of stopping distance, which again, highly increases the probability of that crash becoming a fatality. Speed prevention. What can we do? We can spread the word about the danger created by neighborhood speeding. We can use yard signs. The Slow Your Ride where we reside yard signs are available by request. This reminds drivers to slow down. Set the pace by simply driving at or below the neighborhood speed limit. There's cars behind you. If you drive slow, they drive slow. Park your car legally along the street. If you have a street where you can park in the roadway, park your car in the roadway. This historically slows other drivers down because they fear crashing into the vehicles that are legally parked on the roadway. Reminders. If you see people outside, give them the courtesy and slow down. If you can't see them, they can't see you. Always check your blind spots. Always pay attention to what's surrounding the traffic way. Be extra cautious for children while you're backing up, and always obey the posted speed limit. Pedestrian safety. What can we do as pedestrians? We pay attention to our traffic ways as well. Avoid using electronic devices while we're walking. Use shoulder and face oncoming traffic. Be visible and use sidewalks. Majority of our pedestrian fatalities, the pedestrians are wearing dark clothing where they are not visible. Pedestrian safety for drivers. Stop for pedestrians in the crosswalks. Follow the speed limit. Never pass a vehicle at a crosswalk. In conclusion, reduce your speed. Don't drive distracted. Slow down, put our devices down, and pay attention to where we're going.
Good morning. My name is Tabitha Childress, and I'm with Winston-Salem Fire Department. And on behalf of Chief Mayo, I want to thank you for attending today's press conference. And a special thank you to all the men and women who serve our community. We appreciate you all. We will start with the Habitat for Humanity community build. So Winston-Salem Fire Department, Forsyth County Sheriff's Department, and Winston-Salem Police Department have partnered together to build a home for a family in our community. We are excited about this in a way that words can't express. This is something that you'll have to come out and see. We are providing affordable housing and meeting the needs for a family in our community. And you can help us with this project by logging on to the website and making a donation, or by volunteering your hours to help us build. We'd appreciate your assistance.
And we have first responders build cards at the podium. Now, one part that Tabitha left out, this is a friendly competition of which agency can raise the most money to help this family. So on behalf of the police department
And fire department.
and the sheriff's office who isn't here, we would love it if you guys donated and helped us out to help this family build a home.
But donate for police department, for fire department, please. But thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have an invitation for our community to attend the hose uncoupling and open house for Fire Station 13. This event will be held Thursday, May 4th at 11 a.m. Fire Station 13 is located at 2110 Bethel Methodist Church Lane, and everyone is invited to attend. Next up, we have Teresa Knox.
Good morning. My name is Teresa Knops, and I am the Risk Reduction Specialist for Winston-Salem Fire Department. Budding trees, longer days, they're signs that warmer weather, warmer months are fast approaching. And for many of us, these are seasonal hallmarks, reminders to start spring cleaning in and around our homes. As people power up their lawnmowers, fire up their grills, and plug in their AC units, Winston-Salem Fire Department has some key practices and recommendations to help minimize the risks of fires and other hazards. You probably used your clothes dryer a lot during the winter, so we want you to do a couple of things. Check the back of your dryer because there's probably some lint buildup on there, and go ahead and clean that lint buildup off. Then while you're back there, you want to check that venting system to make sure it's not damaged or crushed or restricted. And then go outside and make sure that the outdoor vent covering opens when the dryer is operating. Move things that can burn away from your dryer. Unfortunately, some people put clothes and cleaning supplies and boxes on their dryer, and that can actually cause a fire. If you feel your dryer when you're using it, it is warm. That is heat. That could cause a fire. And clothes that have come in contact with, say, paint thinners or gasoline, you shouldn't put those straight in the wash machine and the dryer. You want to lay those outside until they dry, then bring them inside and wash and dry as usual. Some of you are probably pulling your window AC units out of storage, so go ahead and check them. Make sure that the plugs are not damaged, the cord is not damaged. Maybe you need to brush off a little lint, a little dust that may have gotten on them. So go ahead and do that. Very important that you plug your window AC unit directly into that outlet, not using an extension cord, because an extension cord cannot handle the large amount of electricity that's often required by that window AC unit. And that extension cord is also not capable of providing the right amount of power as a permanent wiring would be. A window AC unit is also designed to run most effectively on a dedicated circuit, which means that nothing else should be plugged into that outlet. No other appliances, no other electrical equipment. If you overload that circuit, it may trip the breaker, which can be dangerous. And when you're plugging in your window air conditioning unit, please make certain that you're using a 3-prong grounded outlet. Don't use a 2-prong plug adapter for plugging it in. This is going to create a very dangerous situation in your home. And it's one of my favorite times of the year. We've started grilling. So when you get your grill out, you want to inspect it to make sure that it doesn't have spider net or bird's nests or any other debris. So go ahead and clean it up. If you're using a propane grill, go ahead and check to make sure that everything is working around that propane tank. Only use a gasoline or a propane grill outdoors. Please do not bring those grills indoors. Outside, make sure that you have a 3-foot clearance. You want to keep children and pets 3 feet away, just as we teach 3 feet away in the kitchen, 3 feet away from that grill. Keep it away from your home, from overhangings, from porches, from decks. Keep it away from anything that could potentially start or fuel a fire. And never, ever leave your grill unattended. So you're out there, you're mowing your lawn, you're doing a little weed eating, and you need some more fuel. Go ahead and take that time to let that motor cool down as you cool down. And before you refuel, the piece of equipment, you go ahead and refuel. Drink that water, rehydrate, and then go ahead and put additional fuel in that lawnmower or in that string trimmer. Because when it's warm or when it's hot, any fuel that is spilled on it could easily ignite and cause serious burns. We use a lot of rags, and when we're doing our spring cleaning, maybe we're doing some painting, some things around the house where we're using paint thinners or gasoline. The oils commonly used in oil-based paints and stains actually release heat as they dry. And if that heat is not released in the air as the rags dry, the heat is trapped, it builds up, and it can cause a fire. So never leave your cleaning rags in a pile. When you're finished with them, take them outside to dry, keeping them well away from your home and other structures. And make sure that you keep the containers of oily rags tightly sealed in a cool place, out of direct sunlight, and away from other heat sources. You want to make certain that while you're cleaning your gutters and moving dead plants out of your garden and mowing your lawn, that you keep that debris at least 10 feet from your home. You want to remove all of that and anything that really could be an ember or prevent those embers from igniting your home. And finally, as we always want to mention, it's a top priority for Winston-Salem Fire Department for the citizens of Winston-Salem to have working smoke alarms. And from October through December of 2022, our crews installed 346 smoke alarms in residents in their communities. And then from January through March of this year, they installed 507 smoke alarms in residences in their communities. We do have a no-cost smoke alarm program, and the form is on our website. So we encourage all residents of Winston-Salem who do not have working smoke alarms to go to our website and to complete that form so that we can get you those working smoke alarms. Thank you very much. I will now turn it over to Chief Mike Morton.
Good morning. I'm Mike Morton. I currently serve as a Deputy Fire Marshal and Division Chief for the Winston-Salem Fire Department and its Fire and Life Safety Branch. And I'm here to speak with you today about an initiative that we've picked up as a fire department, specifically using some new technology to us that will allow us to better reach out to the community and allow the community to interact with us. That technology is referred to as the Neighbors app. And that app is something that should already be familiar to folks within our community. Winston-Salem Police Department has used it in the past. Forsyth County Sheriff's Office uses it, and we're going to use it too. So if you're not familiar with the Neighbors app, it is a free service that is offered by Ring. Ring are the folks who do the doorbell cameras and security cameras and such. You do not have to have one of those cameras in order to use Neighbors. And what the Neighbors app does is it allows citizens to anonymously share information with one another about safety issues in their neighborhoods. Our citizens can share information about car break-ins, about lost pets in their areas, and about any number of items that may come up that they want to let their neighbors know about. This app also allows public safety agencies, such as ourselves, to post safety alerts and safety education messages. And if you already belong to the Neighbors app, you will have seen that the Winston-Salem Fire Department has already used that to some degree. We're going to continue to do that to help educate our citizens on the ways to keep themselves and their households safe. But there's a third piece to this also, and it's really where I come in most. You see, sometimes we work fire investigations, and we find that there may be information the public has that may be of use to us. In those cases, we're going to use Neighbors to post information to say, look, we would like to see whatever the public has about a fire investigation at a particular location. And then our citizens can respond to that and send us whatever footage they may have, whether that be security camera footage, still images, whatever that might be. Again, that's going to help us to better ascertain what may have happened at that fire. Now, you also notice we've placed the website for the Ring Neighbors app up here on the slide. That's ring.com/neighbors. We're not the only folks who use Neighbors. As you can see with the map behind me, there are numerous agencies throughout the United States, and we're glad to join those who use Neighbors. Before I finish up, though, I do want to mention that there are some important facts we want to let you know. First of all, Neighbors does not replace 911. Citizens and visitors, if you have an emergency, don't rely on the Neighbors app to share that information with us. Dial 911 and inform our dispatchers so that way we can get help to you promptly. Neighbors does work on both Android and Apple devices, so it does not matter which type of cell phone you have. Neighbors will work for you. If our citizens choose to make public posts on the Neighbors app, those posts are anonymous. And as we previously mentioned, you can share photos and videos from any device on Neighbors. You do not have to use a Ring device. Whether it be a photo that you took with your cell phone, any other type of image you may have, you can share with us through Neighbors. So to join us on Neighbors, we've got a QR code that you can utilize that will take you to the website where you can download the app, or you can follow the directions listed here by searching for the Neighbors app on your phone's app store, downloading the app, opening that app and tapping Join Neighbors, then entering your address, tap Done, and then tap Confirm. Once you enter your name and email address and create a password, then you have the opportunity to sign up, and congratulations, you're on Neighbors, and you can interact with your fellow Winston-Salem residents and with our public safety agencies. That concludes my portion, and thank you very much.
This concludes today's Public Safety News Conference. However, before we close, I would like to personally congratulate my coworker, my teammate, Kyra Boyd, who is the PIO for Winston-Salem Police Department. Today will be Kyra's last public safety press conference as she is moving on to the federal government. Kyra, you will be missed, and we wish you well on your journey. You've earned it. And thank you all for attending. If you have not signed in, please do so. And if you would like a copy of today's press conference, that information will help us get that information to you. Thank you for attending. Have a great day.